This is an event where Hollywood movie makers and movie experts are coming to Mongolia for the first time. And right now I have an expert, an image scientist, who's known for his work on X-Men, the Avengers, the Maze Runner. His name is Jay-Z. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to come here.
How's Mongolia so far?
Mongolia, I like it a lot. Everybody is very friendly, and of course I'm here only the second day so far. The food is good, the people are friendly, and this film festival is also very nice organized. We had our opening ceremony this morning, and everything was very beautiful choreographed. I enjoy my time here so far.
It's your first time. So you worked on a Mongolian movie called Golden Treasure by such production.
It was a joint venture from the beginning between the DP, the cameraman, and us. Angarak, a good friend of ours. We met him before for pre-production meetings in Los Angeles. And we did know already that we want to finish this movie in Hollywood. I think it's the first Mongolian movie who had his film finishing done in Hollywood. So at the time we discussed the strategy and had our workflow design discussion and decided to support the show remotely. So the DP sent us footage every so often. We did check that the lookup table and that the camera settings were right. So we did exchange data between Mongolia and Hollywood, had then our reference images to look at every so often. The editing was done here, and the special effects were done here as well. And the final movie then came in its final cut to Hollywood, where we then spent 3 weeks to color time it and then render the final releases for digital cinema and TV release of that movie.
You're saying color time.
Color timing.
Color timing. Can you tell us more about that? What that is?
Yeah, color timing is a word actually which comes from the film world, when we had printer lights and had negative film and made a print of it. Color timing actually is just a red, green and blue balance we use. And then the modern word should be color correction. We can also pick just the sky, the grass, the landscapes or the actors and do sequential color correction in the image. We build up the image. It's like a recomposition of color if needed. We also build vignettes. At every cut, we ask ourselves, what should the audience look at when we have now these new scenes? So we can bring actors into the foreground with light, using shadow to bring the background to the back. And we help the composition of the image to then tell the story better, that the audience is always looking at the part of the image the audience should look at to help to tell the story.
So in order to color time, you have to know the audience, the whole theme of the movie.
Yes, exactly.
What else? How?
It's very often the direction of the director. So it helps already to have the music. If we play the same style of music during the color correction session so that everybody gets into the mood. And we also want to color correct in the right sequence to get the feeling how everything should interact to each other. But then a very important work is as well to do a technical balance between filming in the morning, filming in the afternoon, filming in January or filming in July, or cloud covers come in or not. So there is a technical grade first to balance the image, followed by a creative grade then to help to tell the story. The director should give us the guidance how it should look like. It's the director or the DP, because the director and the DP work hand in hand. So on most of the movies, the DP is responsible for the visual storytelling, but in very close conjunction with the director, of course. Yeah.
That was probably the only Mongolian movie that was that
It was actually the first one. The second one was Children of Genghis.
Ah.
Yeah, I just saw the picture of Children of Genghis as well in the booklets of this festival, so we did two. It was nearly the same crew who worked on both movies, so we did know many of the filmmakers already from the first movie. Yeah, we worked on two Mongolian movies so far.
So,
and it beautifully showed us the landscape of Mongolia. We filmed in the mountains, in the grasslands, we had the horse riding culture, and we saw the desert of Gobi. So now I'm excited to see it all myself, to see how it looks like in real life, how it feels like. So when I got the invite to come here, I was really happy and excited to see it now, how it looks in real life. Yeah.
Working with Mongolian directors, was it any different than working with other directors? I'm sure you've worked with international directors. Any specialties or uniqueness that you've noticed?
So it is actually fact that a successful movie always looks different than its competing movies, than the other movies. In the same way how you are only successful if you deliver something unique and special, we can see that directors are also very different. We have this discussion now, can artificial intelligence create movies for us that we don't have even make movies anymore? Editing can be done perhaps with artificial intelligence, but the answer is no, because you always want to create a unique piece which speaks to the audience in a unique way and then gets a very good box office turnout around the world. So I like the uniqueness of different directors and different DPs. While somebody who works for a long time in Hollywood simply knows how the wheels roll together in Hollywood, it's a little bit easier if you know all the players to get a movie done. If a foreign director comes in, the creativity should stay where it is. You don't change the way how your movie looks, but you need to learn the politics of movie making in Hollywood. And the director, I'm afraid, has to deal with a lot of politics as well. So you want to make a first, a second, and a third movie, and then you feel comfortable with the surroundings and the politics of Hollywood movie making. But from the creative point, nobody should change. You always want to be unique to yourself, I would say.
How do you see the Mongolian movie industry in the future?
The Mongolian industry, the two movies I saw, and when I did fly here to Mongolia, I watched Genghis Khan, a movie as well, a recent filmic representation, and so what I see is that Mongolia should really use its landscapes and its culture. There's such a vivid culture in Mongolia, a long history. There are many history books written, and there are many stories to be told. What I know coming from Germany, it's very difficult to make a movie in the language of the little country you come from. And I mean, Germany is small compared to Mongolia, but then Mongolia, I guess, there are only 3 million people living in Mongolia, so it's not too many who would watch then the movie filmed in a Mongolian language. So language is very important. Perhaps we use modern technology to make a movie which is dubbed in the Mongolian language, but also in English or in a Chinese language, Japanese. So the language is actually the limiting factor quite often. And to watch a movie with subtitles is really different than watching a movie which is spoken in the language you know and understand it. So we shall use modern technology to make a dual language project perhaps, so that you can cover the world market. And that's the problem, to have a very good production value available to make a very good movie. You need a high dollar number, and you get a high dollar number if you have a widespread audience there in the world. The English, Chinese, Indian language, it would be amazing if we could do a movie and automatically it comes out in all these languages. So this is one thing which is missing. What we have to work on in the future. Yeah. For now, I guess we want to test to make an English spoken movie in Mongolia to see how this is doing on the world market. And I have not seen this yet. While the show Marco Polo was amazing as well, it was a television show. It was very well accepted on the world market. Yeah. And this was an English spoken movie or television series. While many television series now are done in the quality of a movie look, so we don't do flat television looks anymore. We give television show now a cinematographic look. We use this term in Hollywood like you look good on camera and the camera loves you, because we do something to the picture to make people and make scenery look better. So this is our way of making. Yeah, I guess to sum it up, the language is so important to have a global footprint for a movie.
And when you're watching a foreign movie with subtitles, you're just losing all the imagery, the beautiful scenery, while reading all the subtitles.
Yeah, I don't. I personally.
You don't?
If the
you
movie
can look
comes
at both
with,
of them?
No, if a movie comes with a subtitle, I don't watch it.
You don't watch it. Yeah, exactly.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Well, thank you, sir. That ends our interview, and
Okay.
enjoy your stay here in Mongolia.
Thank you for inviting.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.